Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? My name is Blitzwinger, and ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a brand new LEGO Dimensions unboxing video. And of course, today we're taking a look at the one, the only, Krusty the Clown. I cannot wait for this one. This one is going to be awesome because I'm just more excited probably to play as Krusty in the game because I think he's going to be a really cool and fun character to play as. Plus, I love the way that clown bike looks, and I'm very much looking forward to this figure in general. Of course, this is a fun pack, only 38 pieces in this set, which is kind of surprising. That makes it one of the smallest fun packs of the bunch. That's very, very interesting. I'm intrigued to see just how many details this thing is going to have, considering the piece count is so small. It is set number 71227, and as you can see, it features Krusty the Clown bike, as I mentioned before. A really nice shot of Krusty along with Springfield in the background there, looking very, very cool. On the side, you get a nice shot of Krusty as he was seen on the front. And then, of course, on the back of the package, we can see all three forms of the clown bike, including the clown bike itself, the cannon bike form, which looks to be firing away like ice cream, or maybe those are supposed to be snowballs or something, but that looks really cool. Very inconvenient. Like, it doesn't look very comfortable to actually ride. In none of these poses does Krusty look comfortable, but I guess it's there. And then, of course, we have the anti-gravity rocket bike, which I'm hoping means that this is a flying form of the clown bike. So with that in mind, let's go on ahead and pull on the tab on the side here. Of course, I've pre-cut the tape here, so don't forget this part would be taped up for you guys. And we're gonna go ahead and open up the flaps here. And let's see what we have inside. So bag number one, I'm guessing it's only gonna be a one bag set. Yeah, because it's only 38 pieces, so makes sense, honestly. There's Krusty's head right there, looking very, very, very cool. Look at him. There he is. He's like, Krusty, the clown is here. And then, of course, we have all the parts, including the rest of his body and everything else, like his arms and such, torso and such. The tag right there, which we'll look at in a moment. And, of course, all the parts to put together the bike. So, speaking of that, in order to put together Krusty, we have this building instructions, a little manual that is given to us to show us how to assemble him. Then it does instruct us to go ahead and go into the game to find the rest of the building instructions. But if you don't want to do that, or maybe you just don't have the game yet, you can also go ahead and find the instructions on the LEGO website. And I've done a video showcasing that in terms of how to get there and such. It's pretty simple, but if you need some extra help, there is a video out there for you. On top of that, we can see some of the other fun packs that are available for purchase, including some really, really awesome ones. I'm hoping that the next unboxing I do is going to be for Unikitty, because I really, really want to get that figure and it looks fantastic. Then we have the other level packs available. I've done unboxings for all of these, as well as the team packs right here, looking very, very, very stylish. And then at the very back of the package, we have a nice kind of summary of all the parts that you need to have in this package, which you will have in this package, ideally speaking, of course. Well, not ideally. You should have all of these parts. That's essentially what I'm trying to say. So with that in mind, ladies and gents, let me go ahead and rip this bag open, put this thing whole, or these things together, and then we're gonna take a look at, hopefully, the lovely goodies inside. Alrighty guys, so here is Krusty the Clown himself, along with his clown bike, and wow, this thing is ridiculously, ridiculously colorful. I mean, it is just crazy. We'll get to that in a moment though. So first of all, let's take a look at the Krusty the Clown figure. Obviously, looks quite nicely done. I think they've done a pretty good job in general with most of their Simpsons figures so far, so that is definitely a great factor. I love the pie accessory that is included, and the toy tag is absolutely fantastic. I love how it has the little bow tie, on the tag in the front here, which is really, really great, and it looks fantastic. Obviously a simple design, not too many details, but it gets the job done, and you can definitely tell that this is Krusty the Clown. Now, on the other hand, this clown bike is definitely made, maybe it was assembled by a clown, because this thing is just the world's most colorful vehicle ever. Like, it looks like it's made out of like ketchup, relish, and carrots or something, like, and mustard, I guess. Ketchup, it's like a condiments bike. That's the colors that are present. Now, with that being said, I still think it looks awesome. Like, I'm not trying to say that the engineering is not cool, because I really do like it. I think that it's really neat that you can actually remove it off the base here, which I'm currently failing in doing. Wow, that was a really, really difficult thing to do for some reason. And it can actually roll around, which is a pleasant surprise, especially because I thought it would tip over, but it doesn't. It stays upright, which is great, so you can roll it around. So that is a really, really clever build. And I just really like the goofy nature of this design. Like, I just like how they kind of went ahead and didn't take themselves too seriously with it, which is what I think maybe some of the other gadgets in the lineup so far maybe kind of a little bit suffered from is that sometimes they took themselves a little bit too seriously with them and didn't go ahead and just go like, hey, what's the craziest thing we can transform this gadget into? And I think that this is just that exact approach, and I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. Now with that in mind, there is of course 2 additional forms to look at, so let's transform to the cannon bike. Alrighty guys, so here is the cannon bike, and it of course does still in fact roll. I'm just trying to get it off without breaking everything off, but it does roll around still nicely, which is great, so it doesn't lose that particular mechanic. I actually think that this is a nicer form of the clown bike. Unfortunately, I don't think it's much of a difference than the first one. Like, there isn't too much that happens. I think that might be due to the fact that they are working with very few parts, so you can't really get super duper creative or just do something completely different. With it, it definitely looks very similar in terms of just the way that it stands, but I think that the way that they present these side cannons actually looks really neat. I think it gives it a much different feel on that end of the vehicle, and I think that I kind of prefer the more polished solid lines of the red and yellow here, as well as up top. I just think it comes together nicer than the first one where we had like green, orange, yellow, red all mixed up together. I think this looks much nicer. It kind of works better without clashing as many colors for this build. But we of course still have one more form to look at, and that is the anti-gravity rocket bike. Alrighty guys, so here is the anti-gravity rocket bike. Now here is the answer to some people who always say, why do you take the vehicle off the toy tag to show if it rolls or not? Who cares? Well, because sometimes when we have builds like this, the vehicle can no longer roll. Now of course you can have a workaround and position these little thrusters forwards, and then it can still roll. And to be honest, I think that this is probably my favorite looking of the vehicles, like when we have these positioned outwards, because I think it just looks cool. I think it's very dynamic and quite neat, but also organized. When it's pointing down, obviously they're going for a bit more of a flying vehicle. That's why I think the name of the vehicle is anti-gravity. So I'm guessing it's going to be at least hovering or maybe even flying. So this is kind of a different mode for the clown bike. But again, I just think that this thing from the get-go, because of the tiny amount of parts that they have to work with, it didn't have much creativity to go with, just because it was kind of limited by its design already. I just kind of wish they would have done maybe something a little bit different for the third form. Maybe instead of connecting the 2 wheels the way that they are connected, maybe connecting them sideways or something along those lines, where the wheels would be, instead of the way that they currently are facing, again in a motorcycle way, where they would face sideways, and then maybe build out a shape of some sort that is facing towards us. Because again, I just think it would have looked a little bit cooler and different, and not have had such a similar feel between all 3 forms. Now as far as which one is my favorite, I think that I probably would say that this is my favorite, just because I really like being able to reposition these, and I think it looks really cool in that sense. So I would say that the anti-gravity rocket bike is probably my favorite of the 3 forms, but I would love to hear your opinions in the comments section below. So with that in mind, let me know in the comment section below, what was your favorite of the forms? Was it the cannon bike, the anti-gravity rocket bike, or just the first default clown bike? And as always, of course, have an absolutely fantastic day. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys later, alligators. Bye bye everyone.